Fifth Avenue is all glass, perfume, and people who never look at price tags. Leah Petro stands under a chandelier that looks like it could buy her brother a new heart. A woman in a pearl white dress storms in like the store owes her an apology. Chloe Vanderson does not walk, she arrives. Two assistants trail behind her with matching panic in their eyes. Chloe points at a display of handbags and laughs like a queen bored by peasants. I want that one, she says. Then she points at a second bag. And that one, and that one, and the whole window too. Leah keeps her voice calm, because calm is cheaper than losing this job. Of course, she says. May I confirm you want the entire display, including the limited pieces? Chloe tilts her head as if Leah has spoken in static. Did you just question me? The assistants freeze. Leah feels the familiar sting in her stomach, the one that comes right before she swallows her pride. She thinks of Noah waiting at home with his pills lined up like tiny clocks. She thinks of the hospital bill taped to the fridge with a magnet shaped like a smiling pizza slice. No ma'am, she says. I am confirming so we can process it correctly. Chloe steps close enough that Leah can smell expensive vanilla, and something sharper, like anger bottled and aged. You are a clerk in a uniform, Chloe says. You do not get to correct me, and you do not get to look me in the eye. Leah looks her in the eye anyway. I am not correcting you, she says. I am doing my job. Chloe laughs once, hard and bright. Then she takes a paper cup of coffee from Leah's counter, and flicks it straight at Leah's chest. The hot splash hits Leah's skin through the thin blouse. A gasp ripples through the store like a dropped glass. Chloe smiles at the stain as if it is art. Now you match your income, she says. Leah grips the counter so she does not grip Chloe. She breathes in through her nose and counts to 3. Ma'am, Leah says. Please do not throw drinks at staff. Chloe's face turns from amused to offended in a heartbeat. Did you just tell me what to do? Chloe reaches out, not to buy, but to shove. Leah reacts on instinct and grabs Chloe's wrist. It is not a hard grip, but it is a grip, and in this world that is a declaration of war. Let go of me, Chloe shrieks. Her heel slips on the polished floor. Her shoulder bumps into the jewelry showcase beside them. The case is a tower of glass with a gold frame, and a sign that says do not touch. Both women touch it at the same time. The lights inside the case flicker. A smell like burning plastic snaps through the air. Leah hears a tiny crackle, and then pain turns into lightning. Her muscles lock. Chloe's scream becomes a strangled sound, like someone cut the volume cord. A blue-white spark crawls across the metal edge of the case. Leah cannot let go. Chloe cannot pull away. The world narrows to a single violent buzz. Then everything goes black. Voices rush in like water. Call an ambulance. Get the manager. The guard, the guard. Somewhere above the panic, the chandelier keeps glittering, indifferent. Later, Leah opens her eyes to silence and soft fabric. The ceiling is not her ceiling. It is high and painted, with a crown molding that looks hand-carved. She sits up and the sheet slides off skin that is not her skin. Her hands are pale and delicate, nails perfect, fingers slim. Her throat closes. No, she whispers. The room smells like clean flowers and expensive soap. A woman in a maid uniform enters with a tray. Miss Vanderson, you are awake, the maid says. Your father asked me to bring you breakfast. Leah turns her head toward a mirror and meets a face she has only seen on billboards and gossip pages. Chloe's face stares back, lips parted, eyes wide, a rich girl's beauty holding a poor girl's terror. Across the city, Chloe wakes up to a ceiling stained by old water leaks. She sits up and the mattress springs complain like they have opinions. Her hands are rough, knuckles nicked, nails short and chipped. She looks down at a faded shirt that smells faintly of detergent and street air. A boy's voice comes from the next room. Jess, you back? The boy coughs and the cough sounds like it hurts. Chloe tries to answer, but the voice that comes out is not hers. It is lower, scratchier, and full of something she has never had to carry. What is this? She yells. Where am I? She finds a cracked mirror and sees Leah's face, tired and stubborn, now wearing Chloe's horror. Chloe grabs the sink as if the apartment might spin away. This is not happening, she says. This is a prank, and I do not do pranks. A picture on the wall shows Leah, with a thin teenage boy smiling carefully beside her. A sticky note on the fridge says Noah appointment Thursday 3 p.m. Chloe stares at it, then at her borrowed hands. Somewhere between a mansion and a studio apartment, two lives have just been switched like labels on a package. And neither woman knows how to return the receipt. Leah tries to stand like a rich girl, but her legs wobble like a newborn deer. The maid watches her with practiced patience. Leah blinks and takes the robe because it is the only safe answer. The mirror shows Chloe's face again, and Leah cannot decide if she wants to scream or laugh. She chooses to breathe. Downstairs, a dining room table holds enough food to feed a small wedding. Silver domes cover plates like secrets. A man sits at the head of the table, shoulders rigid, eyes sharp. Richard Vanderson does not look up until Leah is halfway to the chair. "You are late," he says. Chloe is never late unless she wants to punish someone. Leah almost says sorry, but Chloe probably never says sorry either. She sits and stares at black caviar, shaved truffle, and something that looks like art on toast. Her stomach does not care about art. She reaches for a basket of bread and grabs 2 rolls like she is about to run a marathon. Richard's eyebrow lifts. "You are eating like you have been locked in a basement," he says. Leah shoves 1 roll into her mouth, because she is hungry, and also because stress makes her hungry. Leah says, then realizes what she said and coughs. I had a long night." Richard leans forward. "Chloe, what happened at the store yesterday?" Leah freezes. So he knows, she thinks. She chooses the safest version of truth. "There was an accident," she says. "I got shocked, and I hit my head." Richard's eyes narrow, as if he is scanning her for the old Chloe, and finding bad reception. "You have been careless for years," he says. "Yet today you are quiet." Leah takes another bite, then forces herself to slow down. "Quiet," she repeats. "Is that good or bad?" "It is suspicious," Richard says. He pushes a folder toward her. "This is the termination notice from Barry Jones. You signed a vendor contract with him, and now he claims you breached it." Leah flips through pages and sees numbers that make her vision swim. 5 million, she reads out loud. "That is not a breach fee, that is a ransom." Richard's jaw tightens. "You are finally reading what you sign," he says. Leah wants to say, "I have been reading terms and conditions since I was 12. Instead she says, "Leave it with me." Across town, Chloe holds a phone in Leah's apartment and stares at a delivery app. A boy steps into the kitchen, pale and thin, carrying his own water bottle. "You are up," he says. "Are you okay, Jess?" Chloe tries to decide if Jess is Leah or if he is confusing her with someone else. "I am fine," Chloe says. "And do not call me Jess." Noah's face falls. "You always call yourself Jess when you are mad at the world," he says. Chloe opens her mouth and then closes it. She has never been called anything except Chloe, Miss Vanderson, or ma'am. Now she is Jess in someone else's life. Noah points at a stack of letters. "The red ones are urgent," he says. "The hospital called twice. And Mr. Duffy is coming today." Chloe snorts. "Who is Mr. Duffy?" Noah hesitates. "He is the landlord," he says. "He wants rent." Chloe looks around the cramped kitchen and feels her throat tighten. The air is too warm, the walls too close, and there is no staff to make the problem disappear. "Fine," she says. "I will pay him." "With what?" Noah asks softly. Chloe grabs the delivery bag by the door like it is a weapon. "With this," she says. "How hard can it be to deliver food?" 30 minutes later, Chloe learns that delivering food is a sport invented by spite. She gets lost twice because she refuses to ask strangers for directions. Her first customer texts in all caps about missing extra sauce. Chloe reads the message and feels personally attacked by condiments. She arrives at the address, climbs 3 flights of stairs, and knocks. A man opens the door without looking up from his phone. "You are late," he says. Chloe holds out the bag. "Take it," she says. The man frowns. "Where is my extra sauce?" Chloe stares at him. "You ordered a burger," she says. "Not a relationship." The man gapes. Chloe turns and stomps down the stairs, then remembers she needs a tip. She turns back and flashes a smile that has worked on gala donors and board members. "Have a great day," she says sweetly. The man slams the door. Chloe looks at the app. Tip, 0. She makes a sound that is half growl, half sob. On her second delivery, she tries to park the scooter close to the curb, but the curb wins. The scooter tips, the bag flips, and fries scatter like confetti on asphalt. A woman on the sidewalk yells, "My food." Chloe picks up fries with the horror of someone touching the floor for the first time. She hands the bag over anyway because she has no other plan. The woman looks inside and recoils. "I am calling support," the woman says. Chloe wants to throw herself into the nearest fountain, but she keeps standing. Back in the mansion, Leah dials the number on the folder. Barry Jones answers on the second ring, voice slick and pleased. "Chloe, darling," he says. "Ready to pay up?" Leah grips the phone. "Listen, Barry," she says. I am not paying anything until you explain why the product samples you delivered were defective. Barry laughs. Sweetheart, you signed, he says. You can cry to your daddy, but you still owe me. Leah feels her temper rise, the kind she usually saves for customers who tip in insults. Well, Barry, she says. I might not cry, but I can read and I can count. And I can make your life very annoying. Barry pauses. That is new, he says. Leah smiles without warmth. So is me saying no, she says. After she hangs up, Leah stares at Chloe's manicured hands. She has never held power before, not like this. It feels heavy and also tempting. Across the city, Chloe sits on the edge of Leah's bed, sweaty and furious. Noah hands her a glass of water. You did 3 deliveries, he says. That is more than yesterday. Chloe stares at the crumpled cash in her hand. $23, she says. That is not money, that is an insult. Noah smiles a little. It is dinner, he says. And it is my medicine for a week. Chloe looks at him, and something in her chest shifts, small but real. She has never earned anything with her own hands. Now her hands hurt, and the pain makes the cash feel strangely important. Leah spends the afternoon in Chloe's study, surrounded by shelves of books that look decorative, not read. She finds a drawer full of party invites, a safe full of jewelry, and a folder labeled Barry Jones in bold marker. At the bottom of the folder is a voice memo file on Chloe's laptop. Leah clicks play. Barry's voice fills the room. The samples are trash, he says. But your girl is too busy shopping to notice. We will blame her, cash out, and laugh. Leah sits back, stunned. Chloe had evidence and never used it. Maybe she did not know how, Leah thinks. Maybe she did not care. Leah copies the file to her phone and prints the contract pages with the highlighted clauses. She is not a lawyer, but she has survived landlords, bosses, and late fees. This is the same kind of predator, just wearing a better suit. At dinner, Richard watches Leah pick at a salad like she is trying to solve it. You are not going out, he says. You cancelled 3 events today. Leah looks up. I needed time, she says, to handle the mess I made. Richard's mouth tightens. Your mess, he repeats. That is new too. Leah sets her fork down. Mr. Vanderson, she says, then remembers she should call him Dad, then decides to commit to honesty. Richard, she says. I do not want to keep running from problems. I want to fix them. For a moment, Richard looks like he wants to argue, but the words do not arrive. Instead he nods once, slow. Prove it, he says. The next morning, Leah walks into Barry Jones's office with a portfolio folder and a straight spine. She wears a simple suit she found in Chloe's closet, the kind that says I can behave in boardrooms. Barry leans back in his chair, grinning like he already owns her. You look different, Chloe, he says. New stylist. New priorities, Leah says. Barry gestures at the chair. Sit, he says. Leah does not sit. She places the contract pages on his desk. Clause 3, she says. Quality standards, inspection rights, and termination conditions. Barry waves a hand. Legal fluff, he says. Leah taps her phone screen. Want to hear your voice calling your own samples trash? Barry's smile cracks. Where did you get that? He asks. From the part of my brain you never bothered to consider, Leah says. Here is the deal. You drop the breach claim, you issue a public apology to our procurement team, and you compensate for the defective batch. Barry laughs, but his laugh is shorter now. And if I do not? Then I forward the memo to your biggest client, Leah says. I also share it with every brand rep who still answers your emails. Barry's eyes flicker, calculating. You are bluffing, he says. Leah lifts her chin. I have worked 3 jobs at once, she says. I do not bluff, I survive. Barry swallows. Fine, he mutters. We can renegotiate. Leah finally sits, but only to sign a revised agreement that puts Barry on a leash. When she leaves, her hands are shaking, but she keeps walking like they are not. Back in the apartment, Chloe wears Leah's sneakers and stares at a sink full of dishes. Noah is at the table doing homework, head tilted, tongue between his teeth in concentration. Chloe has never done dishes in her life. She touches a sponge as if it might bite her. This is disgusting, she says. Noah shrugs. It is just plates, he says. Chloe scrubs one plate, then another. Her wrists ache. Soap gets under her nails. She hates it, and yet the pile gets smaller, which is a kind of victory she understands. Later, a knock rattles the door. A man with a mustache and a clipboard stands in the hall. Rent, he says. Chloe crosses her arms. You are Mr. Duffy, she says. Your timing is terrible. Mr. Duffy looks past her at the peeling paint. Timing is not the issue, he says. Money is the issue. Noah steps closer, nervous. Mr. Duffy, he says. We have most of it, we just need 1 more week. Chloe's stomach twists. Noah should not have to negotiate for shelter, she thinks. She pulls out Leah's wallet and counts bills from her deliveries. It is not enough. She remembers her own life, her credit cards, her father, her closet of solutions. None of that exists here. Chloe forces a smile. Mr. Duffy, she says. Let us do this professionally. You give us 7 days, and I will add an extra $50. Mr. Duffy raises an eyebrow. Where will you get it? Chloe lifts her chin in a way she has practiced since childhood. From work, she says. Mr. Duffy laughs once, then shrugs. Fine, he says. 7 days. As he leaves, Chloe exhales like she has been holding her breath for weeks. Noah looks at her with surprise. You negotiated, he says. Chloe scoffs. Of course I did, she says. I am good at making people do what I want. Noah smiles, faint but real. Maybe you are, he says. At the mansion, Richard calls Leah into his office. Reports are coming in, he says. Barry backed down. His staff is suddenly polite. His tone is suddenly terrified. Explain. Leah hesitates, then decides to tell a version that is true without revealing the impossible. I found evidence, she says. I used it. Richard studies her. For years you demanded attention by breaking things, he says. Today you fixed something. Leah nods. I am tired of breaking things, she says. Richard looks away, and when he speaks again his voice is quieter. So am I, he says. That night, Leah lies in Chloe's bed and wonders if Chloe ever felt lonely in this huge house. The room is too big for one person, Leah thinks. It echoes. Across the city, Chloe lies on Leah's bed and listens to Noah's soft breathing from the other room. The apartment is too small, but it feels warm in a way Chloe cannot name. She stares at the ceiling stain and realizes she has not thought about herself for an entire hour. That is new too, and it scares her more than the dishes. On Saturday morning, Leah stands in the Vanderson kitchen and searches for a frying pan. The chef has the day off, the staff is reduced, and the silence makes Leah bold. She cracks eggs like she has done it 1,000 times, because she has. She burns the first batch. She tries again. She carries the tray to the dining room and waits. Richard enters in a crisp shirt, already reading messages. He stops when he sees the food. What is this? He asks. Breakfast, Leah says. Real breakfast, not just expensive breakfast. Richard looks at her like she has placed a live animal on the table. You never cook, he says. I never had the chance, Leah says, then winces because she said it like Chloe might. Richard sits slowly. He takes a bite of egg and chews as if the flavor is a memory he cannot place. It is burned, he says. Yes, Leah says. But it is made. Richard's lips twitch, almost a smile. Then his face settles into seriousness. Chloe, he says. Why are you doing this now? Leah swallows. Because I realized something, she says. People do not feel loved when you throw money at them. They feel loved when you show up. Richard's hand stills on his fork. That sentence lands like a glass set down too hard. For a moment, Leah sees a man, not a billionaire, a man who has missed too many birthdays. Richard clears his throat. I did not know how to be both a father and a chairman, he says. So I chose the job that does not cry when you miss it. Leah nods, heart tight. I get it, she says. But you still missed it. Richard looks at her, and his eyes are wet, fast and hidden. I did, he admits. They eat in a silence that is not hostile. It is new, and it is fragile. Across the city, Chloe wakes to Noah knocking on her door. Jess, he says. Your shift starts in an hour. Chloe groans and pulls a blanket over her head. I hate this body, she says. It sweats like it has a job. Noah laughs softly, then coughs. Chloe sits up immediately. Are you okay? She asks. Noah waves her off. It is fine, he says. It is just cold air. Chloe looks at him and sees how thin his wrists are. She thinks of her own closet full of coats she never wears twice. She thinks of Noah rationing medicine like it is gold dust. At the delivery hub, Chloe finds her scooter, and a woman in a pink jacket studying her. You are the girl who mouthed off to customers, the woman says. Chloe straightens. I did not mouth off, she says. I offered feedback. The woman snorts. I am Dina, shift lead, she says. If you want hours, you follow rules. Chloe wants to argue, but she hears Noah's cough again in her head. Fine, Chloe says. I will follow your rules. Dina hands her a stack of orders. Then do not take the elevator in the luxury buildings, Dina says. The doorman will block you anyway. Chloe blinks. They block us? Dina smiles without humor. Welcome to the city, she says. Chloe rides to a glossy tower in midtown and meets a doorman who looks at her like she is a smudge. Deliveries use the side entrance, he says. Chloe glances at the main lobby, all marble and calm. She remembers walking through lobbies like this without noticing the people who open doors. She steps to the side entrance without a word. It feels like swallowing a rock. Inside, the service elevator smells like cleaning supplies and exhaustion. A maintenance worker nods at her. Chloe nods back. It is the first time she has ever nodded at someone in a service elevator. At the top floor, the customer opens the door and barely glances at her. Leave it, the customer says. Chloe leaves it and turns to go. Then the customer adds, take out my trash too, will you? Chloe stops. Her pride surges, hot and automatic. She imagines herself in her own body, turning, laughing, leaving without consequences. Then she imagines Noah's pill bottles. Chloe picks up the trash bag. Fine, she says through her teeth. I will take it. The trash bag is heavier than she expects. It drips slightly. Chloe gags and keeps walking. When she returns downstairs, the doorman watches her carry the bag out. His expression shifts, just a little, from contempt to surprise. Chloe hates that she notices it. Back at the apartment, Noah is watching an old cartoon on a tiny laptop. Chloe sits beside him, exhausted. Why are you smiling? Noah asks. Because I did not cry today, Chloe says. Noah laughs, then coughs again. Chloe reaches for his water. Drink, she says. Noah does. His eyes drift closed. Chloe watches him and feels something unfamiliar settle over her. It is not power. It is not boredom. It is responsibility, heavy and terrifying, and she cannot toss it at someone else. At the mansion, Leah finds a photo album in Chloe's room. It is full of gala shots and staged smiles. Then she finds a photo from years ago, Chloe at 10, holding a trophy, looking toward the camera as if begging someone to see her. Leah runs a finger over the image. Oh, Chloe, she whispers. You were not cruel, you were loud because nobody listened. She closes the album and makes a decision. She will fix the contract, yes. But she will also fix the daughter and father who keep missing each other in the same house. The Vanderson Charity Gala arrives like a tidal wave of invitations, florists, and stress. Leah stands in Chloe's dressing room, while a stylist pins her hair, and a makeup artist talks about glow. Leah nods as if she understands, but her mind is on Noah, and rent, and all the invisible math of survival. Richard steps in wearing a tux that fits like authority. You look appropriate, he says. That is the closest thing he has to a compliment. Leah takes it. At the hotel ballroom, the air is thick with perfume and quiet competition. Leah walks through it like she is carrying a tray she cannot drop. She greets donors, answers questions, and does not insult anyone even once. A board member leans close. Chloe, he says. Your recent behavior is improved. Are you ill? Leah smiles. No, she says. I am learning. Across the ballroom, Chloe enters through the service quarter in a waiter uniform that feels like a joke. She carries a tray of champagne and keeps her chin up, because it is the only part of her that still feels like hers. Dina whispers, smile and move, she says. And do not talk back. Chloe bites her tongue hard enough to taste blood. She turns the corner and sees herself across the room, except it is not herself. It is Leah inside Chloe's body, standing tall, speaking calmly, owning the space. Chloe's chest tightens. That is my life, she thinks. Why does she look better in it than I ever did? A drunk guest stumbles into Chloe, sloshing champagne. Hey, watch it, Chloe snaps, then remembers Dina, and shuts up. Too late. The guest laughs and pushes her tray. Glasses topple. Red wine spills in a perfect arc and lands on Leah's pale dress like a wound. The crowd inhales. Leah turns on instinct, eyes blazing. What the hell? She says, and for a moment her voice is all Brooklyn and survival. Chloe's head snaps toward her. That voice, she thinks. That is my mouth, but that is her. The drunk guest waves a hand. It is just a dress, he slurs. Relax. Chloe takes a step forward without thinking. Do not talk to her like that, Chloe says, then stops, realizing she just defended someone wearing her face. Leah looks at Chloe, at Leah's body in a waiter uniform, and recognition hits like a punch. Chloe? Leah whispers. Chloe's eyes widen. Leah? Chloe whispers back. They move toward each other, weaving through guests, trays, and shock. You did this to me, Chloe hisses. I did not, Leah says. You threw coffee at me. You grabbed me. You existed in my space. You tried to shove me. Your space. Leah snaps. I was working, not auditioning for your mood swings. A guest nearby murmurs, is that Chloe arguing with herself? Richard watches from a distance, expression tight. Chloe and Leah reach the side of the ballroom near a decorative lamp tower wrapped in crystals. The lamp hums softly, a sound nobody else hears over the music. Leah points at Chloe's tray hand. Stop holding that like you want to throw it, she says. Chloe glares. You stop acting like you own my life, she says. I am keeping it from collapsing, Leah shoots back. Chloe's voice cracks. It was already collapsing, she says. You just did not see it, because you were too busy pitying me. Leah's anger falters. Chloe's eyes are wet, furious and tired. Before Leah can respond, the drunk guest lurches again and bumps the lamp tower. The crystal strand swings. The metal base scrapes the floor and sparks against a loose wire. Leah and Chloe both reach out at the same time to steady it, because both of them have learned in their own ways that messes have consequences. Their hands touch the metal. The hum becomes a scream. Light explodes behind Leah's eyes. Chloe's borrowed hand locks onto the base. No, 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 Chloe gasps. Leah tries to pull away and cannot. The shock is faster this time, sharper, like the world is impatient. They hear people shouting, but it is muffled, far away. Then darkness again, swallowing the ballroom whole. When Leah opens her eyes, the ceiling is white and flat. She smells antiseptic and hears a heart monitor beep steadily. Her hands are her hands, rough and real. She flexes her fingers and starts crying before she can stop. Noah sits beside the bed, eyes red. Jess, he whispers. Then he shakes his head. Leah, he says. You are back. Leah grabs him and holds on as if the world might switch again if she lets go. Across the room, Chloe wakes up in her own body and stares at her own nails like they are strangers. Richard stands at her bedside, his face pale with fear he cannot hide. Chloe swallows. Dad, she says. The word comes out small. Richard's eyes fill. Chloe, he says. I thought I lost you. Chloe looks at him and feels the strangest ache. She did not lose him this time. She found him. A week later, Leah sits in a small cafe in Queens with a paper cup of coffee and a smile that feels earned. Chloe sits across from her in jeans and a simple coat, no assistants, no heels, no armor. They stare at each other for a second and then both start laughing. I cannot believe you made me take out trash, Leah says. I cannot believe you made me eat burned eggs, Chloe says. Those eggs were love, Leah says. They laugh again, and the sound is lighter than it used to be. Chloe's fingers tap the table nervously. I paid the surgery deposit, she says. And I did it with my own money. Leah's eyes sting. Thank you, she says. Chloe shrugs, embarrassed. Noah is a good kid, she says. And he should not have to be brave every day. Leah nods slowly. I did not know how to ask for help, she admits. I thought if I stopped, everything would fall apart. Chloe looks down at her coffee. I thought if I stopped, nobody would notice me, she admits. Leah studies her, then reaches across the table. Truce, Leah says. Truce, Chloe says, and they shake hands like two rivals signing a peace deal after a ridiculous war. Chloe takes a breath. Leah grins. Good, she says. Chloe's mouth curves. I started showing up at the office, Chloe says. My father thinks it is a miracle. Leah raises an eyebrow. Is it? Chloe sighs. It is work, she says. But work is not a punishment anymore. It is proof I can do something besides spend money and break things. Leah nods. And I applied for a promotion, she says. Store manager. Chloe's eyes widen. You? Yes, Leah says. Me. I can sell a bag and also read a contract, apparently. Chloe laughs, then grows serious. About that day, she says. In the store. I was awful. I know, Leah says. Chloe flinches, then nods. I was awful, she repeats. I was lonely and I was bored, and I thought being loud made me real. Leah leans back. Being loud does not make you real, she says. Being kind does. Chloe swallows. I am trying, she says. I know, Leah says. They sit in silence for a moment, watching people move past the window with grocery bags and tired faces. Chloe looks at them differently now. She looks like she is seeing the city instead of using it. 2 days later, Noah's surgery day arrives. The hospital hallway is bright and too cold. Leah holds Noah's hand while he pretends not to be scared. Chloe stands on the other side of him, holding a bag of snacks and an oversized hoodie she insists Noah might want later. You are hovering, Leah whispers to Chloe. I am preparing, Chloe whispers back. Noah smiles weakly. You two are like a weird sitcom, he says. Leah squeezes his hand. Be brave, kid, she says. Noah nods. I am, he says. They will him through the doors, and the waiting begins. Chloe sits beside Leah and does not touch her phone once. Richard arrives an hour later, looking out of place in the hospital chairs. Chloe stands. Dad, she says. Richard stops and looks at her, surprised by the softness in her voice. How is he? He asks. In surgery, Leah says. Richard nods and sits. For a while, they wait in the same silence, but it is not the old silence of avoidance. It is a shared silence, a new kind. Hours later, a doctor steps out and smiles. Surgery went well, the doctor says. Leah's knees go weak. Chloe laughs like she has been holding her breath for a year. Richard closes his eyes briefly, then opens them, and the shine in them is not just stress. Noah is in recovery, the doctor says. You can see him soon. Leah turns to Chloe and pulls her into a hug before Chloe can protest. Chloe stiffens, then relaxes, then hugs back. You did not have to do this, Leah whispers. Yes, I did, Chloe whispers. Because when I was in your life, I mattered. A month later, the luxury store manager calls Leah into the office. You have a talent for keeping people calm, the manager says. And you have a talent for telling difficult customers to behave without losing your job. I am promoting you. Leah leaves the office shaking, but this time it is from joy. She texts Chloe. I did it, she writes. Chloe replies 3 seconds later. Of course you did, she writes. Now go buy yourself something nice that is not instant noodles. Leah laughs and types back. I will buy socks with patterns, she writes. At the Vanderson mansion, Chloe stands in Richard's office with a stack of reports. She points at a line item and frowns. This expense is ridiculous, she says. Who approved this? Richard blinks. You are asking about expenses, he says. Chloe shrugs. Leah taught me to respect money, she says. Richard's mouth lifts, soft. She also taught me to show up, Chloe adds. Richard nods once. Then I will show up too, he says. That weekend, Chloe and Leah meet again, this time in a park with Noah walking beside them. Healthier, stronger, alive. Chloe hands Leah a small box. What is this? Leah asks. Open it, Chloe says. Leah laughs so hard she almost drops it. I hate scooters, Chloe says. But I do not hate what they taught me. Noah grins. Are you two friends now? He asks. Leah hooks an arm around Chloe's shoulder. We are something worse, Leah says. We are a team. Chloe rolls her eyes, but she leans in anyway. And if the universe tries to swap us again, Chloe says, I will sue it. Leah snorts. Good luck serving papers to the universe, she says. Chloe smiles, real and unguarded. Then we will just live better in our own lives, she says. Leah nods. Deal, she says. They walk forward into the afternoon, not perfect, but changed. Their lives are no longer a mistake waiting to happen. They are a choice, made daily, and that is the funniest miracle of all.
Thanks for watching. Follow for more romance stories.